Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Tonight, we just moved the mob onto this snow-covered paddock, and normally we would have split this paddock into thirds, but we didn't want to do that. I'm going to walk over and show you the grass that we left. And so this has got, I don't know, a couple inches of snow. It's snowed here all day long, but you know the weather is probably, I don't know, 36. Something like that, 35, 36. Because it's raining out here and it's not freezing on my face. It's just a light drizzle. Excuse me. But it is funny, you can see where the cows are at. The snow is melted off right there. And we just turned them on to the left part of this field, and you can see the snow still on. So just them grazing, walking back and forth on this, you can tell which side they grazed. They really put the hammer on this. But this is the cocklebur field, and it's just a beautiful piece of grass. Beautiful piece of grass. So this is October 28th. We're going to be back here around probably the middle of December. And this is what we left. Look at this. I mean, there's some grass in here. Look at that. So the cattle, this is a 12-acre bottom, and we gave them 6 acres this morning, and we gave them 6 acres tonight. And they are absolutely turning and burning on this. Man. That's why I love, I love Kentucky 31 fescue for winter. That's our management, is we sell the animals that can't take Kentucky 31, just get rid of them. They get fescue foot, or they don't breed back, or they get thin. They don't shed off in the spring, get rid of them. You don't go out and spray your whole farm with glyphosate and kill it and put in Max Q or any of the novel endophytes. You've got this stuff right here, folks. You got to learn to make a living on your land. You can't do it by killing everything. You just can't. Everybody else in town ends up with your money. So there's nothing wrong with Kentucky 31 if you learn to manage it correctly. So this isn't a solid stand. I don't want a solid stand of Kentucky 31, but there's a lot of other things in here. You know, red clover. They're going through this sward and they're getting the clover. And it snowed. We didn't unroll hay. We just rolled the wire up. And you can tell right there, see that dirt spot or muddy spot? That's where a cow is in heat. There's about 25 bulls after her, and she was circling right there when we came up here today. And that's what they'll do. The cow will circle, and sometimes they just lay down, but the bulls really make a mess where they do that. But you know, that's the other advantage. I'll show you. We don't have any pug spots right here. I mean, there's not a pug spot in here that's over, well, there isn't any pug spots. If these had been 14 to 1,600 pound cows, it looked like you took a 3-bottom plow and plowed this. This is just mud on top of the ground. That's all that is. It didn't punch through. It didn't go through the sod. So this was a crop field when we leased it, and now it's that. Folks, there's where your money's at right here. So the cows didn't need a bale of hay tonight. They are actually bucking and kicking when we turned them into here. I mean, absolutely bucking and kicking and running. And it's cold out here. I had to switch hands with my camera. My right hand's about froze because it's got rain on it, and it's just nippy. But if you get out here close and look at what the cows are eating, they're eating Kentucky 31. They're eating fescue. They're just getting the best. Look at that. I mean, that's some good grass. I mean, my goodness. There's no, look at that. That's orchard grass. Okay, it's got a seed head on it. There's not a bale of hay in the state of Missouri that's going to equal this. That's what I say. Look at that. Just remember this, cows know best. Cows know best. Look at her, isn't that beautiful? My goodness. She's getting a little bit of clover, a little bit of grass, and she's just gonna absolutely thrive in this environment tonight. So before it gets dark, these animals will all be filled up. Probably go there by that tree, by those trees, and they'll lay up for the night. And then when we get here in the morning, we're going to move them on to another piece that looks just like this. So wintertime, just because the snow's coming down doesn't mean you have to go out and unroll hay if you learn to manage and rotate your animals. So if you're not doing any kind of rotation at all, if you'll just rotate them a little bit, give your plants time to rest between grazings, maybe you could do some of this on your farm. But you've got to get some paddocks, you've got to get some water out there, and you've got to have some way to control these animals. You can't just give them your whole farm. Because if you do, I promise you, you're not going to have pastures that look like this. Especially, you might as well say the 1st of November. Look at that. Good feed. And you know, when this grass is covered with snow like this, they don't hardly drink any water. And that's because they're getting a lot of water from the forage itself. Well, that cow there's she's found the clover. Look at that. She's just mowing it down. 60 days. That's how long it's been since we've been here. About 60 days. Man, oh man. Makes you want to go get you a salad bar. I'm sorry, a salad bowl. Pick you some of that. Put a little salad dressing on it and have some yourself, you know. 87, that bull is just enjoying that. Look at that. He had him a cow sorted out this morning. Wouldn't let anybody else have her. She was in heat. Look at Grandma. Gosh, what a cow. Grandma's 20 years old and had 18 calves. Folks, it's longevity. Get longevity bred into your cattle. That cow's 20 years old. And she bred back in 21 days. Boys saw it. She cycled back in 21 days after calving. And she's moved up 2 months from last year. And she's 20 years old. That's how you make money in the grazing business. You got to have animals that are the right size, got the right genetics that can perform on what you grow on your farm without going out there and plowing it up and planting something. Do y'all hear anything bawling? Do you? All I hear is rip, 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 rip. It's a wonderful sound. I'll shut my mouth so you can hear it. Yeah. Gosh, if I had a 5-gallon bucket, I could sit out here till dark and just watch the cows eat. It's just rewarding, you know, because what else you going to do? I mean, you run out of grass, you got to feed hay. But with good grazing management, managing the sward, folks, a lot of this is being grown. Look at that old cow. Man, she's got a big old bite full. Look at that. Man, girl. Look at that. 8:33, you're going to get you some more. There's a lot of competition out here. These cows have all got their heads down eating, because if they don't, the next one's going to grab it out of their mouth. Look at her. Yeah. You're just a good cow. Got her little clover there. Just ripping it off. So folks, this wasn't planted. This was a soybean field, and all we did was unroll hay on it. We unrolled hay on it to get it going and to get some seed out here. Most of this seed came from the seed bank. But you got to get carbon. If you're just starting with bare soil, a good time to switch over is right after they combine whatever's in there, beans, corn, whatever. Get some hay rolled out there. Bring the animals in. Try and get a sod. You got to have a sod to hold up your animals in the wintertime. You really do. If you don't have a sod on cropped land, you're not going to hold the animals up. And then when it gets wet and snowy, they're going to tear your pastures up. That's just a nice little calf there. Golly. Beautiful young bull calf. Boy, there's a thick one right there walking away. My gosh. Look at the rump on him. Whoa, 006. You are a little stud. Look at that. I like blocky built cattle. They just, when they're built like a block, you know they're going to do well. And speaking of blocks, look at this one. Wow. Oh, they don't make it much prettier than that one either. It's another nice little bull. 010, we'll check what you look at. We'll check out what you look like next spring. I bet you look pretty nice. It's just amazing to me though, the cows, you know, they can stay out in this elements. We don't have a barn anywhere on Judy Farms. And these cows are just very content. Everybody says, well, you don't have a barn to put your cows in? Well, that's the stupidest thing you could ever do is put your cows in a barn. It's a good way to get sick. You get them all up in a barn and they all get hot and sweaty. And then they go out in the cold, they're going to get pneumonia and everything else. Because cows, you put them in a barn, that's a lot of meat and a lot of heat in there. It builds up, and now they get too hot. And they go out in this cold weather, yep, now you got a bunch of sick animals. Animals, especially cows and sheep, they were designed to live outside, not in a barn. Even the little guys, they're doing good. Well, I'm going to sign off here. It's a chilly, chilly night, and first snow of the year. And I think they said we got some more maybe coming tomorrow, but you know what? It's going to be a good while before we have to feed any hay, unless we get 2 or 3 foot of this stuff, which I don't think we're going to get 2 or 3 feet, but we got to snow before Halloween, so who knows. But it's just a beautiful time of the year to be out. It's nice and cool. Reminds me of my homeland, which is Minnesota. Of course, our friend George, he sent an email earlier that they had like 16 inches of snow or some crazy number, so I'm just thankful we don't have that, but it's kind of pretty. All the trees are covered in white. This is our office. You know, we get to be out with this every day. So with that, I'm going to sign off here. Those of y'all new subscribers, hit that subscribe button on the way out and that like. I'd appreciate it. And we'll check y'all out down the road.